afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast with your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only, Master Propaganda, the man of your dreams. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya in the south, it is Insanity, fighting for the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, the glorious Red Army, taking on the role here of the 4th Guards Tank Corps in the north, it is Helpinghans, fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Wehrmacht, forming up here the Sperrverbande von Sauchen, with Osttruppen Doctrine, triple machine guns actually, versus anti-infantry tactics, I haven't seen that in a bit, shock rifle and guard rifle with engineers, mines and Strafniki, their penal battalions for Insanity. Osttruppen MG42 start there for Helpinghans, double crunch there for Insanity, no sign of the penal troops at least for now, more Osttruppen out here for Helpinghans and the German army, the Sperrverbande von Sauchen. As for those wondering, Dane, what is a Sperrverbande? It is a blocking formation, sort of on the same basis as a Kampfgruppe, but sort of more to designate. It doesn't exactly have a lot of offensive combat ability into it. And Virginia sort of just formed up whatever was in the area. So, you know, quickly throw out the enemy. And there were many formed during the big Soviet assault operation Bagration, where the German army group center rather aggressively caved in. Counter there being suppressed by the MG42, more counter on the way there for Insanity. Standard stuff here so far. Moving up east was the Osttruppen, noting no infantry company for Helpinghans, so he is obviously pretty confident he's not going to hit by Special Rifle Command with scout cars, otherwise he might actually be in a bit of a spot of bother there. MG42 Pioneers moving up there, aggressively so. Nice aggressive MG42 played there by Helpinghans, of course. Counter being pursued here by things a bit. They got the eastern fuel points secured. More MG42s out there for Helpinghans, so double Osttruppen and double MG42s. Certainly will require an expert hand with the MG42s to really manage that. And also someone just knows how to make use of the MG42s to a recent good degree. He pulled back here quickly as they also find up the country from the east. They're likely going to lose. Most he's buying time here for the MG4 to get into better position. No Molotovs up here for Insanity, though of course he could add those later on. Though he's going for conscripts. Second M4 almost done. Osttruppen here are aggressively losing out to the conscripts since they tend not to do well versus conscripts up close. In the west here we got Osttruppen as an engineer squad, might have a chance there. Second M4 almost done. And Insanity here basically bypasses Helpinghans' strong point here with MG4 to go straight for the call point. Nice play there. Certainly also how a lot of Operation Bagration basically happened. They just ignored all the German hard points, just went for things were weak and just outmaneuvered them. So good play there. Hit the call point but quickly getting suppressed by the second M42. First one remains here of course with all of its bulletins for a bit of extra, well, overall TPS, but also the reload, which also means it can actually switch windows faster, if I am not entirely mistaken. Bunker up there for Helpinghans, no take up yet. He might want to go for Osttruppen first, or at least another MG42, perhaps. Either way, they should be fast about it. Pioneers moving towards the center here. Osttruppen being slowed around here by Insanity's forces. Still, oh, there we go, do get Molotovs there. Very good. And certainly there's a Wehrmacht here with lots of machine guns. You kind of want Molotovs, so when actually flanking, you can immediately just push them away. Osttruppen here, MG42 has the counter there abandoning the house. He must be feeling pretty confident. He's got no worries there. Osttruppen continue to hold the line here to tie down several Insanity's conscript corps or engineer, well, infantry units there as others retreating back here. Medics following up there for Insanity, very good. And there we go, conscript right here in the east by the MG42, but the fuel has been denied to Helpinghans. So again, good play there. Insanity so far basically just trying to avoid any engagements he can't like immediately actually win, rather than just trying to find any fight and hope to win it. He's just looking to establish a fight he can actually win, which is usually how you do well with the conscripts versus the Wehrmacht. You just look for the fights you can actually win. You sort of try to set them up, and you just keep running around corners for the opponent, hitting them here and there, looking for openings. You just sneak up behind him, that way trying to spread out your opponent, and then once he's sort of reasonably scattered all over the place, you then sort of swarm that point and sort of just try and go for a while and sort of slowly crumble away. At least that's my experience with the Soviets. So there we go. Take up for Helpinghans. He does going to need something sort of faster here to contain these sort of tactics. So 2-2s, 250.5 tacks could be quite effective here for Helpinghans. Even pair of Panzer Grenadiers could do quite a lot of good here. In fact, he's also kind of short on infantry, which can be a bit risky with just 2 infantry squads. Molotov off there for forcing Osttruppen away. MG42 retreating. Got the MG42 back here, but again with more conscripts moving in, and this time with Molotovs. There's a higher likelihood things here just get swarmed and Helpinghans is quickly forced off. It's a big push here. Further finding around the car, Pontus Flame from news charge in. Medic bunker up here. tech is done, obviously, but he's yet to build anything from it. Pioneers as the engineers. MG42 rider as well here, as Insanity charges forward here for the Soviet Union and the 4th Guards Tank Corps. Back here, troops reinforcing. No sign of doctrine here by way for Insanity. So a bit of healing reinforcement here for Helpinghans, as MG42s, of course, being a rather priority. What also should be priority, of course, is a light to mechanized company and something out of it really, really fast. Sandbags going down here to make it easier for Insanity to defend the fuel point. Nice work there. Light to mechanized company up for Hans, also very good work. Going for the central point. Osttruppen have back up, and then forward got a conscript. They're holding up Hans's advance for the fuel point. I mean, one thing Hans could basically just try and do instead of, you know, bashing his way into this, is to then just switch everything from here to then sort of move up here. There's just 2 points here and there, so around the fuel point. In some ways, it'd be easy for him to defend as well here. Versus Insanity, it might just work, you know, again, fast enough here to catch him off guard. But Helpinghans so far is very much intent on moving through here. Well, again, Insanity can use the houses to block Helpinghans, whereas again, if he were to go here, there actually aren't any houses that can really sort of block him. So it would be, again, sort of, you know, a move that might be worth considering. Though, of course, it would be rather avant-garde. But we have seen it before. You got the 251 half-track out there. Likely it's going to be the Flamethrower half-track. Helpinghans very much being a pioneer in Osttruppen Flamethrower half-track strategies. So I imagine that's what it is, though. Even without the Flamethrower half-track, you know, Flamethrowers, it can still be quite useful to support Helpinghans. More sandbags up there in Insanity. Very good use of the sandbags. I think some players overlook a bit just how useful it can be with the counters to lay down sandbags in really annoying spots. Going to tank grenades, so we got to take up there for Insanity. He's staying a distance because he doesn't know if Insanity has gone for the anti-tank grenades. When his half-track gets, you know, caught up in those, Helpinghans is obviously not going to have a very fun time. So he's being a bit more cautious there, which of course makes a lot of sense. Staying around the tree reinforcing, there you go. Panzer grenades only, that's very good. They probably should have kept the half-track around to back up then before through in the east. In the west, in Pioneers, losing out to conscript March while they've Insanity. Very good work there, very thorough. Panzer Grenadier slowly approaching, and they're going to really help a lot versus these conscripts. I mean, in particular with just 2 Osttruppen squads, he might actually have to go for double Panzer Grenadier squads to really just have sufficient infantry firepower on the move here versus Insanity. And in particular, anyways, versus a conscript heavy build, double Panzer Grenadiers can really make them hurt. After they're hanging back, he's being very cautious about it. He really is just only focusing on it for the Flamethrower upgrade. He's not really considering any other utility behind it. And again, that can be fair enough, but I do feel like it just sort of misses some, again, the utility of the strengths of the 251 half-track. But again, I can understand it. Pioneers here, then before 2 moving up, they've got the T-7 on there for Insanity, Helpinghans. He's got the Panzer Grenadiers out, obviously, but he's also going to need some anti-tank weapons. And he doesn't have any munitions for Telemines, so he's going to be a bit more exposed here versus Insanity. That engineers holding their Flamethrower forwards to deal with the fascists. Fighting around the centre, pushing for the cover on there with the Osttruppen. Got conscript coming in to deal with that. And there you go, Flam Panzerwagen on the move. T-7 light tank almost done. Helpinghans is likely going to go for a pack 40 there since he's anticipating a T-70. I mean, it's very much the Soviet meta. And if you sort of just were to ask yourself, well, what would hurt the most for my opponent to go for at this moment? It would be the T-70. So, I mean, in this regard, going for, you know, a pack 40 to help counter that is really the, you know, best choice. Whereas out of that, he never went for the Flamethrower upgrades, instead went for a bunch of Telemines to assist the Pack 40. I mean, that would also further help him as the T-70, though. Obviously would have given him less of a, well, moving incendiary vehicle. T-7 moving in, then getting the Panzer Grenadier. He's going to have to retreat those pretty fast. Lose them early on would be a pretty big blow there to Helpinghans. Not just the manpower loss, but again, it's pretty much just right now his de facto best infantry unit by far. And really crucial as all these conscripts. So there you go, retreating from the western or eastern fuel point again. He's trying very slow to push out the west side, but he's not really making an awful lot of progress for that. But there you go, Pack 40 out there, the Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. MG42 covering the centre, Veterans 1, Pioneer setting out, Flamethrower after then engaging the conscripts, burning away there with its 2 flame projectors. Was very much the primary flamethrower vehicle of the Germans. While the Allies is largely, you know, just relying on tanks, the Germans, while they had a few, they were never sort of really this purpose built for. It was just mostly a few conversions here, like Flampanzer 3s, they had the Flampanzer 2, and they converted some French Charbis tanks, and then a couple of heads as well, but like the primary flamethrower vehicle of the Germans were very much flamethrower half-tracks. It's a little fun fact there. T-7 engaging, and that's going to be really bad news there for Helpinghans. Pack 40 setting up there. Anti-tank grenade still not up here. That might work out there for Helpinghans in his favour. There you go. T-7 taking us for the Pack 40 before we try and deal with this here. Osttruppen moving in, Panzer moving forward. Constable, they're retreating very low on health though. And the T-7's main gun is out there. It's pretty big there. In these two, we got a bit more skirmishing. He's going to need the flamethrower to pick up everything to push through there. They also need to repair. There's so much he needs to do though. And we got to doctrinate this Guard Rifle here for Insanity, adding the DP light machine guns as soon as he can. I imagine submachine guns for the Constables will also be a very quick follow-up here for Insanity, just to further put pressure on Helpinghans. And certainly it's going to make the Osttruppen feel, you know, not quite nearly as fun either. Constables are routed, Osttruppen following up, flare mine goes off. Panzer going to be on the move, back here healing reinforcement. Moving up there just to check for any infantry hiding around that could defend the fuel point. That's a very good move there. Engineers, they're routed. T-7 being fixed up. That's going to take a bit of while there. That's going to be helpful for Helpinghans to stabilise. And of course, a bit of a problem there for Insanity, who's finally going for the anti-tank grenade upgrades. Very good. Almost lost the flamethrower to the base machine guns, which would have been rather uncomfortable for Helpinghans. And we got here the supply drop, provides fuel and munitions, will help us to slightly catch up there, plus a Pack 40 and another machine gun to help deal with infantry. All, you know, very necessary things right now, I think, for Helpinghans. You know, like another anti-tank gun, good. Another machine gun, very good. Fuel munitions, also very good. So, I mean, it's going to really just help him sort of offset some of the initial successes of Insanity, at least sort of provide a buffer in that sense. Grand Eastern fuel again, awesome gunning up here. Flamethrower taking down your repairs. You need to get some awesome that's crew the weapons, and we got the T-70 once more on the move here for Insanity and the 4th Guards Tank Corps. MT-42 coming the car front, flamethrower after they're halfway fixed up. Grabbing the fuel and the munitions, healing going on there. It's going to just reinforce the Osttruppen, then grab these two things. I imagine he'll prioritise the Pack 40 to help, you know, give him more guns to blast at the T-70 with, and follow up machine gun. And we got mines up here. Good work by Insanity. There you go, Constables the Flampanzerwagen, rushing it, and got a grenade off there. Bit of bad news there for Helpinghans again. We got the Pack 40 ready. The Osttruppen reinforcement again will probably go for the machine gun soon. Panzers they're good to go. Osttruppen good to go as well. And then you go and send the armor pigeon. Now it's nicely timed to deal with a frontal assault, but obviously not very much. It was against the T-70 flank. Constable charging in here, Helpinghans charging with the Panzer Grenadiers. They're going to do some heavy damage to the Constable, in particular out in the open. They really stand no chance against the Panzer Grenadiers there. Molotov off, easily dodged there by the Panzer Grenadiers. Pack 40 to deal with the T-70. Machine gun routed. Chaos and Pandemonium reigns here as we see more troops pushing for the Corps on there. T-70 damage by the Pack 40. Other one might want to get up close. Flamethrower almost good to go. Machine gun there crewed up as well. Panzers are routed by the sheer number of guardsmen and conscripts backing them up. And losing the eastern fuel point for, well, I've lost count already. Insanity here, they're certainly flexing his Bolshevik muscles here quite effectively versus Helpinghans. And Helpinghans is struggling a bit there to catch up. Units there routed. Panzer is setting up, we have lost one in 4 turning westwards. Grabbing the eastern munitions, Pack 4 they're setting up, that's going to be within range of the conscripts possibly if he's not careful. More flare mines going off, back here, Panzers are good to go once more. A lot of mines off there from Insanity, really good work, they just takes out a lot of Helpinghans momentum when he then charges forward and he keeps losing units here and there to mines and also add psychological pressure, so really effective stuff there. But we got 2 machine guns opening up the conscripts here. And of course with triple machine guns, Insanity's going to find a bit harder there to push forwards. He might want to be tempted to just pop a machine gun in here, and I'd probably pop the machine MG34 in there since that's, you know, less valuable to lose here. Slow pressure on the west side with the Osttruppen and the MG42. Mechanized armor company for Insanity, just, you know, building on the momentum it's already got for the push armor out here versus Helpinghans. Very good. Western push there is looking pretty weak there for Helpinghans. We've got points being seized. And we got machine gun. It's the MG42 then inside the house again. I would have preferred the MG34 there since again more expendable, less likely to hurt Hans in case something goes wrong and he loses it. units moving up. He's trying to name before 2 Panzers there falling back as well. Pack 4 falling up with this. Flank Panzer others nearby. T-70 charging forward. So note he was using the recon mode to just further spot ahead to look for any gaps in Helpinghans' defences. Very nice play there by Insanity. Very good handling. Molotov on the pack. Flamethrower last not to make with a big continued heavy fighting here before 2 dealing with the troops there. Flamethrower attack is about to explode. Oh, T-70 misses. Osttruppen moving in. And, oh, Flamethrower attack down. He's going to get the T-70. And certainly both, it's going to be a loss of both of them, but for Helpinghans it's going to be a bigger problem because Insanity still has a lot of infantry. The Flamethrower attack was his best way of keeping them in check. Plus, for Insanity, he's already bringing up a T-34 in his takes. So in this regard, he's already, got a nice little jump board there. But Helpinghans does not quite have the same thing. I mean, he's the one on the back foot. He's losing any sort of valuable tool like that is going to hurt him. He is still starting to, get telemines done, which is good. He's also floating a ton of munitions, which is one of the things of the Osttruppen strategy. You tend to, float a lot because you're not using a lot of stuff with your grenadiers, like rifle grenades and whatnot. So you tend to just more naturally have a big munitions float as the Wehrmacht if you go for Osttruppen, and he's not quite utilizing it. So again, he should be laying down a lot of mines, S-mines, telemines, whatever mines he can, he should lay down. I mean, a few S-mines, for example, here would make it hard for him to just harass that fuel point naturally. And of course, more telemines all over the place, which are going to make it easier for him to sort of slow down any of Insanity's armoured assaults. So Paul McCrop, I'm going to be a Panzer IV. But on the back foot, apparently what suggest the Stug, since again it has more firepower, it's a bit more mobile. And now I can just put more pressure on the T-34, maybe have a high chance of just murdering it. But there you go, T-34. Oh, just as he moves the Pack 40, the T-34 arrives. Really rapid timing there for Helpinghans. Other Pack 40 moving up there, T-34 is moving in. Conscript popping into the house here. And we got the MD-34 covering at the flank somewhat. T-34 takes it from the Pack 40s. Panther 4 is closing in there in terms of resources, but still some time off in the end. Troops setting out here, healing reinforcement once more again in the base for Helpinghans and the Sperrverbande von Sauken. Comes on the fire from MD-42. T-34 from 6 rolling back halfway to death, but saved out of the lines of the German anti-tank guns. Comes up against the Osttruppen. Helpinghans remains under severe pressure. He's got the fuel, he's almost got the manpower, so I think he can go for the Panzer IV and maybe trying to more actively stabilise and turn this around, but for now he is wobbling aggressively as Insanity just delivers blow after blow. Conscript push back here on the west from by the Osttruppen and the Panzer going to be MD-4 reinforcing. We got Incendiary Piston round to increase damage versus the units out the house. Very good move there. Again, active use of the Incendiary Piston round machine is actually pretty good. As it really does increase damage and just gives them more experience as well that way. And there you go, Panzer on the way for Helpinghans. Insanity they can soon go for another T-34-76. We could try and save up for a KB-1 tank, which would certainly give Hans a bit of trouble there. We got 276 versus 129, coming eastwards. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Pack 4 is getting ready for the nexus of anti-tank engagement. Mines being laid down there. Insanity's just on the ball with that one. MD-42 on the eastern side. Healing reinforcements still remaining. Panther 4 almost done here for Helpinghans. A lot of munitions. Demo charges up here. Insanity keeps it up here versus Helpinghans. Just doing whatever he can to rob Helpinghans of any momentum doing a counterattack. Thumbs up to Insanity. Osttruppen moving forwards there. They likely will spot the demo charge. They're of course going to be triggers as get it all dealt with. Conscript routed by the Panzer 4. I feel like more mines right now would be a good priority choice here by Helpinghans. Opening up the house here. Nice hit there. T-34 from 6 moving out. Panzer 4 needs to be careful here, and so does any troops nearby. Got the T-34 moving in, and they're going to gain the Panzer 4 direct hit there. They're also receiving a direct hit from the Panzer 4. Panzer was also moving in. Need to be careful around the demo charge. He was going to attempt to set it off explosively. Trying to shoot here. Osttruppen moving in. Need to be careful. I think he's trying to do too much here. There's some weirdness going on there. Panzer's moving up there. Geballte Ladung. Direct hit from the T-34. And then, there you go, Jurgen gets blown to bits. Think, got a bit too close to the demo charge. Guardsman push back the Osttruppen and Guards as well there. Big push there by Insanity in the centre as Helpinghans trying to move up the east side. And again, I mean, he could try and call his battalion out. Also got the mines spotted there. Bad luck for Helpinghans. Down to 200 points. Pack 40 is nowhere near in sight. They are moving in. Then we got the Panther 4 still, though damage. Got Contra there pushing further forwards. Getting suppressed here with the Helpinghans machine guns in his base. The situation for Helpinghans remains very, very desperate. Troops still reinforcing. Pack 40, they're good to go. I imagine Insanity will be laying down more mines and whatnot later down the road. Which is kind of what you want to be doing, like, and whatever like ground you gain, whatever like advantage you sort of gain as such, you usually want to like quickly dig in, make it hard for the opponents to take it back. Like, you want to just make it as expensive for them to gain back ground, because them with this smaller unit sizes usually tend to suffer a lot more from that. Moving up the west side again, very good. Machine guns falling forwards. He's trying to switch a bit more direction. They're still trying to deal with what Insanity's got here on the eastern side. But he's also starting to realise he needs to kind of hit elsewhere, which is really crucial for Hans. Guardsman grabbing the point here. Field gun almost down there for Insanity, which is going to be a problem there for Helpinghans as Panther 4 and any other armour he might pull up. After they go in the base again versus all these T-34s, a few Stubes though could prove going to help him. I mean, he's got the packs, but he might be noticing there struggling to keep up the pace of the T-34s from the 6s, and that might just be the incentive there to go for something a bit faster, a bit more mobile. Panther 4 moving forward, so close to one Contra, they take a nasty hit. Around the centre point in the west, we got Osttruppen here versus the conscripts there. Pack 40 being hauled forwards. Still a lot of ammunition being floated there by Helpinghans. At least he's spending some of it on grenades for the Panzergrenadier. Also a bit of field first aid so they don't have to retreat for healing. Very good there as well, very close to the ace level. Pack 40s though are starting to keep up with the frenetic pace again of Insanity's tanks as they just keep moving left and right, making it harder for Helpinghans to just lock them down with the anti-tank guns. Machine gun there, ace level, very good. Punch them in forwards. They are about to hit the ace level. Got a mine off, or grenade off against the engineers. Oh, doesn't retreat. Flare mine goes off as well. The Panthers will almost get wiped out. 14 with the counter there. T-34 and 5 from the Pack 40 in the centre. We've got the field gun moving head here, bombarding the MT-34. They're starting to take some damage in return. Nothing further going there for Helpinghans. He's likely going to go for another Panther, although again, I strongly urge some Stubes, some Sturmgeschütz. Concentrate back the Pioneers, Panther 4 being fixed up. At this rate, Insanity can easily just keep pumping out T-34s. You could also go for Initiative 5, you could go for 2 extra unit 6s. That would also put some serious pressure on the Panzer 4s. Unit 42 is the Guardsman. Pack 40 there setting up. And this time we'll actually have some good shots at the T-34s from 6. Not enough to finish it off, but at least, you know, to make Insanity a bit more careful there. Panther moving out west side, 7 kills, striking a bit the MD-34 or 42 covering at the right flank. Then we can see he might just go for deep flank, getting past the machine gun. Good play there by Insanity. Oh, almost got stopped there, but was able to get out of the arc of fire quickly right behind it. Nice play there. We got 135 versus 386. Panther 4 almost good to go. Helpinghans can soon go for a second Panther 4. And again, S-Mines here really, I think, would do a lot for Helpinghans. Nice from Pack 40 in the T-34 from 6. Insanity now going for a Katyusha rocket launch. They just make things further miserable for Helpinghans by blasting the support weapons and infantry. A fiendish concoction there, but nice work there. Second Panther 4 for Helpinghans, very good. Still got an awful lot of ammunition, just sort of doing nothing. Oh dear. Lost an Osttruppen caught to the mine. Panther 4 slowly being fixed up. Katyusha almost done. Panzers there being reinforced. Ready to hit the full 4 number. Guardsman 18 kills. I imagine the majority of them are Osttruppen. And there you go, Katyusha out. Helpinghans really needs more infantry. I would recommend just getting a lot of Panzer Grenadiers right now, I think. Just, you know, getting, say, 2 more, and you would have 3, and that could really put some serious pressure then send his infantry. And maybe allow Helpinghans to swing around. There you go, Katyusha fire on the MG42 here. Rockets flying through the air, detonating on the ground, but not quite hurting any Germans. Pack 40 here, they're getting suddenly cut off. That's the T-54 charges forward and cover the artillery fire. Pack 40 and the T-54 need to get the Panther 4 in there, although dealing with the conflict in the east, there's still another one. Circling around it, there you go, half health, might have a chance to take it out, there you go. Other T-54 nearby, and that should be our chance to take for the Pack 40 to take it out. There we go, T-54 down. A small tactical win here for Helpinghans in the Sea of Misery against the Red Army. And these conscripts there pinned down by the MG42 as they somehow try to spare the way through, but it's just not working out. Guardsmen versus the Panzers, the ace versus not quite ace, but they're close. Still the Panzers that range should have the chance and the opportunity to win. Panther moving up. Fighting on the west side here, Panther moving forwards, Helpinghans in the offensive. Sensing perhaps victory, we got a field on here with his half health. Katyusha moving about, they need to cover the Panther 4, but there you go, might have a chance to take out the Katyusha, that should be huge, or helpful. More mines there, but there you go, Katyusha down, field gun could go down, Panther 4, there's a bit of trouble with the T-54. Quick blitz there, and there you go, field gun cleared out, Panther 4 almost down. Conscripts roaring in, MG42 there, nowhere in sight, Pack 4 there opening up. Panzer 4 dodges another hit, T-54 half health, Conscript coming in there, T-54 gains 52. Oh dear, we might see the T-54 go down here, that would be huge, and oh dear no! He's lost all of his tanks, his Katyusha and his field crews dead, while Helpinghans still has both Panzer 4s up. This is huge, this is definitely looking like a comeback here for Helpinghans. I mean, double Panzer 4s with no tanks for his opponent is big. Now he just needs more infantry to push ahead with, and fast. He needs to be able to exploit this, and for that you kind of need some infantry. And right now though, he's down to just 2 and 1 on this Osttruppen as a opponent with 5 infantry squads, meaning if Helpinghans does, you know, get a move on soon somehow, I mean, Insanity can quickly just plot the gaps here with infantry and hold the line until then. So right now for Helpinghans, there definitely should be an emphasis on infantry. Artillery field officer, Osttruppen, whatever, just get it out there. Schnell. More pioneers isn't a bad idea, but they're not quite infantry in the sense that you know, exploit properly, and they kind of have to run and face the conscripts. Back at healing reinforcement, Guardsmen concentrating up, they're field and bombarding. Panzer 4, they've actually 2 with the Schutzen added.
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
Fixing up the Panzer 4. 99 points left here for Helpinghans. Point there rendered neutral and one in control. MD there needs to fall. Oh, that got wiped. That's a bit of blow there to Helpinghans when there for insanity. At least it's just the MG34, I guess. And we got artillery called in now, maybe on the center there. Railway artillery. Looking close to be around it. Panzer's almost got the machine gun. I think they might have misclicked there. Machine carrying up here, far right. Still not seeing a lot of infantry for Helpinghans. Counter levels as Guardsmen now at the ace level, and they're also a bit further away there. Should find no fence to help deal with Helpinghans' panzers. Very good move there. But he can go for a Panzer Grenadier squad now he wants to, and he probably should want to. Other than, again, artillery field officer would also work out nicely. But so far, Helpinghans remains a bit mum on the additional infantry when he badly needs it. And so far, as you might have noticed, while he's managing to defeat all the tanks and acting in that sense gained an edge, he's not exploiting it really. He's not really, you know, pushing further forward. He's not putting more pressure. There you go. More Panzer Grenadiers on the way for Helpinghans. Finally, bit late for that, I feel like, in terms of timings, but you know, better late than never. But now it's being opened up the issue 5 there. Great hit from the field gun on the Panzer 4. Panzer Grenadier squad number 2 halfway done. A bit more to go. In the east now, the push forward here, we've got the infantry covering it, and of course got an infantry covering the flank of the MD42, meaning he's going to run into an awful lot of machine guns here. We got air support called in to break through the machine gun wall here in the east of Helpinghans. That's definitely one way of doing it. There we go. Routed. As both machine guns are being strafed by the IL-2 Sturmovix. Panzer 4 being pulled back for repairs, troops reinforcing healing. A massive assault here by Insanity again, despite again now technically having Suffered a bit there compared to Helpinghans. He has the infantry just quickly rebounded and supported with a bit of armor, just push through Helpinghans' lines again. Helpinghans just lacks infantry. Panzer IV, they're charging forwards, damaged engine, a frantic and frenetic attempt at a counterattack here, instead had the exact opposite effect for Helpinghans. His Panzer IV there, his veteran Panzer about to go down here, other one's charging in there, might get the Agent fire, but looks like he might just, oh no, pushed away both of his tanks, and there you go, lost his other Panzer IV, infantry again, not quite there. And Santi here, there's trying to go close, and he is stopping right in front of the Panzer IV, getting some nasty hits in there, but he is not popping out to tank grenades. I think he's thinking he can get away with it just using the field gun. At which point the Panzer IV could actually get a lot of damage here as Insanity, which might help. There go, field gun destroyed. Extra fire moving up though, might just be able to turn around here. There go, bomb grenade on the conscript. Oh, and they retreat into it. Panzer IV that goes down still. That was a big blow there to Helpinghans. Both of his Panzer IV's down. I'm going to get rid of the guards here with the Panzer grenades. There might be a bit of a hope there again of a turnaround again for Helpinghans, but otherwise that was pretty grim. Pretty grim, to put it very mildly. He's down to 50 here versus Insanity's 365. MD-34 holding up Helpinghans' forces, need to flank that. There we go, MD-42 on the job. Popping sending armor piercing to increase the job. We also got the Panzer flanking hand, that's very good. Bomb grenade might also do the trick here. There we go. Doing heavy damage there, 25 kills. And MD-34 routed, push up for here. MD-42 trying to do parts of it. There we go, suppress them right as Fat Yuri there. Got stuck right in front of it. Pioneers also coming from the north. And the Ottoman just kind of struggling with this kind of sort of, a much more moving environment, which is definitely a problem there for Helpinghans. Pioneers going to deal with the suppressed troops, very good. Pack 4 there, hold 2 flank forwards. Could risk getting wiped out and handed out to Insanity, which would be pretty bad for Helpinghans. Oh, do you move too far for the victory point? Not good. He's 38 versus 365. Pioneers are dealing with the conscripts. Almost got them. Panzer going to move forwards close to 32 back here. Troops in reinforcing. You can soon go for another Panzer though. Insanity then might want to consider K1 or just more T-34s. Are there more tanks to put pressure on Helpinghans infantry would be good. Extra fire opening up there, basically looking to destroy the cover the Panzer grenadiers, I think. Make it hard for them to defend. And these machine gun backing up an engineer assault there to open up the path to the eastern victory point, what's more threatening to extend Hans's defences, which he cannot afford. And then going inside to bring up another T-34s from the 6th. They're rolling off factory fresh there. Well, technically by 1944-45, I think they kind of stopped with T-34s from the 6th production, moved on to T-35. They still had a lot. And they're kind of used for, I think, reconnaissance purpose primarily, just, tanks for those who couldn't get the T-35, since logistics were kind of struggling. Gas moving up here, backed up. A constant was the Osttruppen in the west. 26 here. Kills on those Panzer Grenadier, another Panzer IV there for Helpinghans, but will it be enough this time around? Will it be sufficient? It's going to be the interesting thing here. Guardsman push back, MD-42 opening up there. Panzer IV halfway done. More mines down for Helpinghans. Teller mines, nice. Just, I feel like the positioning is a bit too aggressive. There we go. Direct hit from the T-34 looks almost lined up. Passes around as well here by the MD-34. That one is proving to be a very good steal there for Insanity. Another Pack 40 back in action as well for Helpinghans. Panzer IV arriving. Insanity can soon go for another T-34 from 6. We're going to likely go for a K1 as well instead. Though so far he's sticking to the T-34 from 6s. They are cheaper and they are fast. The damage output I think is rougher than 7. It's just the K1 again. It's a lot more durable than the T-34 from the 6. And that way you can sort of exchange blows for the Panzer IV much more effectively. But like if you just want raw firepower, you want T-34 from the 6s. So there's a very good possibility here that Insanity is just focusing on raw firepower rather than just boxing matches with the Panzer IVs. T-34 is going for the machine gun, and we could see a wipe here against Helpinghans. Definitely put him in a bit of a bad spot. Pack 4 lands a nice hit. Down to half health. Machine gun there covering up. Ace level, 16 kills. Back here, troops are reinforcing. Another push for the centre here by Helpinghans and the German army, the Sperrbande von Sauken. Direct hit by the HU-5 there on the Panzer IV. Katyusha on the way again for Insanity. It's about to get a T-4 was the Panzer. There you go, Flareman goes off, kills one of the Ace Panzer Grenadier there. That's bad news there for Helpinghans. Bun grenade off, tries to get off, but not quite working out. We got the T-54 doing more damage here. We got 4 kills on it already. Panzer IV needs to, as the engineers put them back. We got the MB-54 being up. 300 points left for Insanity. I mean, Helpinghans is slowly closing the gap, but the question is it going to be enough? Because Insanity is certainly proven to be A, insane, and B, utterly relentless. But he can soon go for another Panzer IV. Current scripts versus the Panzer MB-4 2 pioneers bringing in their rather large force commander just to grab that back when he probably surprises in the victory points there. Might be a slightly flawed assessment there by Helpinghans, to be honest. And the Osttruppen defending the centre, I think, aren't quite going to cut it without more sufficient support. MG-54's up to cover the point. They're very nice. Carts moving up there. 30 kills. Very solid. Katyusha barrage off. And there he goes straight here around the pack forces and the pioneers, causing grievous harm there to Helpinghans' forces. Also just causing him to split up his centre defence. And there he goes, Insanity on top of the artillery strike there, just to further break apart Helpinghans' centre. Like a fist through a window is calling in air support. Just further try and disrupt Helpinghans' defence. Well, a break for a window would probably be a better analogy, since you punch for a window, you're going to cut yourself badly. H5 is the Panzer IV. Panzer IV moving up, but he's in a pretty bad state here. He's got 29 points left versus the 295 with Insanity. Both Panzer IVs are reinforcing. And you've heard 4, they're hammering away. Fighting around the centre, air support running down. 19 points left. 16 points left. Insanity is now tenacious defending the 2 other victory points. He does defend the west because he knows Helpinghans doesn't put a lot of effort into it. Plus they're moving up, Pioneers taking losses. Artillery support called in somewhere over the rainbow. The cushion is wet. And anyway, it doesn't matter because it's too late. GG, game over here. Loss for Helpinghans. A victory for Insanity and the Red Army. A bit close at times. I feel like, again, Hans partly struggled under the issue of just not enough him to really make pushes and exploit any chances he had versus Insanity, but also just throwing away those 2 Panzer IVs when he actually had the upper hand was also very costly, I think, issue there for Helpinghans. And finally, he just really didn't put a lot of pressure on the left flank. That was completely wide open. To an extent, I can understand why he probably just wanted to convene and defend this, but at the same time, he just left himself, again, very open in other ways and just made it much easier for Insanity to do what he wanted. So, that's some things to consider. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice long episode. Bye.